She was already yelling before we even saw her face. "Get off this land. You can't hunt here," the woman shouted, waving some paper like it was the law itself. Grandpa and I were fixing the fence near the trail when her white Jeep came sliding through the dirt, right under our private property sign. Dust flew everywhere. She slammed the door and stormed toward us with two men in dark uniforms stepping out behind her. No badges, no real police car, just a Jeep with magnetic HOA enforcement stickers stuck on the sides. Grandpa didn't even flinch. He just wiped the sweat from his forehead, leaned on his shovel and said, "Ma'am, this isn't an HOA, this is Wilson family land. Been ours since 1952. The woman, Karen obviously, smirked like he'd said something stupid. "You can't just claim it's yours. This area is under the Pine Creek HOA now. These officers will escort you out." I looked at the two officers. Their uniforms didn't match, their boots were muddy, and one guy had his name tag upside down. Grandpa's eyes narrowed and he noticed everything. "Escort us out?" he said calmly. "Why don't you start by showing a warrant or maybe your badge number?" Karen hesitated just for a second, then said louder, "You're trespassing. Pack your stuff and leave or we'll impound your truck." That's when Grandpa chuckled. "Sweetheart," he said slowly, "you might want to check where your tires are sitting before you threaten me." The Jeep was parked right on our trail, the one Grandpa and my dad built together. And Grandpa, being who he was, had already done something earlier that morning, something only he knew about. He leaned close to me and whispered, "They came in easy, but let's see how they leave." I didn't understand what he meant until Karen got back in her Jeep to make a dramatic exit. She slammed it in reverse, tires spinning, shouting something about calling the sheriff. But before she could move 5 feet, the Jeep lurched, then dropped. The back tires hissed flat. The front bumper scraped against the dirt. She screamed, "What did you do? What did you do?" Grandpa just shrugged. "Just a few road spikes. Don't like uninvited guests." The fake cops looked at each other, nervous now. One whispered, "Ma'am, we should go." But it was too late. From the top of the hill, a real county truck was already rolling down toward us, and Grandpa smiled, eyes steady. "Good timing," he said softly. "That's the real sheriff." The county truck stopped right behind the Jeep, and the real sheriff stepped out. Tall, calm, with that look that makes everyone go quiet without him saying a word. The fake cops froze instantly. Karen, still sitting in the driver's seat, started fixing her hair like nothing was wrong. "Morning, folks," the sheriff said, eyeing the scene. "Got a call about some trespassers. Guess that'd be you two?" Karen jumped in fast. "Yes, Sheriff. Thank goodness you're here. These people are illegally occupying HOA land. I was trying to enforce the rules before they got violent." Grandpa tilted his head, squinting at her. "Violent?" he said quietly, almost amused. "Lady, the only thing we've attacked today is a broken fence post." The sheriff didn't respond right away. He walked around the Jeep, noticing the flat tires and the fake HOA enforcement stickers peeling off the side. He looked at the two men pretending to be officers. One tried to hide his face. Then the sheriff's voice got lower. "You boys want to tell me what department those uniforms belong to?" No answer. Just the sound of wind and the Jeep's engine idling. Karen finally snapped, "They're with me. The Pine Creek HOA has full legal authority here." The sheriff cut her off, holding up his hand. "There is no Pine Creek HOA, he said. "This land was never annexed. County records show it belongs to the Wilson family." Her face went pale. I swear I heard her whisper, "That can't be right." Grandpa crossed his arms, watching her crumble. "Told you, ma'am. Been ours since 52. My daddy built this trail before your fancy subdivision even existed." But Karen wasn't giving up. She turned toward the sheriff again, desperate now. "You don't understand. They're dangerous people. He threatened me." Grandpa sighed and reached into his vest pocket. My heart jumped. I thought he was about to pull something crazy. Instead, he took out a tiny black device, pressed a button, and pointed to the oak tree near the fence. A small red light blinked. "Security camera." The sheriff smiled slightly. "Good. Then we'll let the footage speak for itself." Karen's hand started shaking. "Wait, no, you can't use—" "Ma'am," the sheriff interrupted, "you might want to call your lawyer. You're already in enough trouble for impersonating law enforcement." Grandpa gave me that look, the one that said, This isn't over yet. And deep down, I knew it wasn't. Because the footage didn't just show Karen trespassing. It showed something else Grandpa hadn't told anyone about. The sheriff told us all to step aside while his deputy brought the dashcam footage up on a tablet. Grandpa stood with his arms crossed, quiet as ever, while Karen paced behind her Jeep, whispering something angrily to the fake officers. They looked terrified now, like they knew the show was over. The video started playing. You could see everything. The Jeep rolling over the private property sign, Karen yelling, those two fake cops flashing cheap badges. But then the angle shifted. Grandpa's camera near the oak tree had caught a clearer view. And there it was. Karen's Jeep wasn't alone when it entered. Another truck had come before, a black pickup with no plates. Two men had unloaded crates and carried them toward the back of the property near the creek. The sheriff frowned. "What the hell is that?" Karen froze. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. Grandpa's eyes narrowed. "Looks like your HOA patrol brought some friends." The deputy zoomed in. The crates had yellow hazard stickers, restricted equipment from a local construction site that had been reported stolen last week. The sheriff turned slowly toward Karen. "You want to explain this?" She tried to talk, voice trembling. "That's not mine. I thought this was community property." Grandpa chuckled under his breath. "Community property, huh? Then I guess we should share it with the sheriff's office." The sheriff nodded. "We will, starting with an evidence tag." He gestured to the fake officers. "Hands on the hood now." One of them bolted. He took off running down the trail. Karen screamed, "Stop him!" But she cut herself off too late. "The what?" the sheriff asked sharply. Karen swallowed hard. Grandpa stepped closer, his voice low. "You want to tell us what he's carrying, or you want me to guess?" She didn't answer, just looked down, shaking. Grandpa turned to me and said quietly, "Lock the gate, son. We're not done here." I did as he said. But as I closed the gate, I saw something glinting in the weeds. A small silver keycard with a strange blue logo. When I picked it up, I realized it wasn't from any HOA. It was from Homeland Security.